9% APR, and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit LibertyFirstCU.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine along with some calm winds. We'll see an afternoon high of around 83. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies with an overnight low of around 61. Tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with a light breeze. A little bit hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 92. Meteorologist Kyle Puckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good afternoon, my octoroon. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. Located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Second location at 30th and Yankee Hill is open and running as well. We are on a Tuesday. The calm before the storm. The heat wave is coming, I think, in the next 24 to 48 hours for the next week. So everybody that thought they had to put on their rain suits, now you got to get that suntan lotion on and catch the shade. But also, we want you guys give you guys a full 40 minutes about to a great option for you guys is we're doing the first hour trivia is this. First of all, the Ticket has started a new show called The Finish Line on Sundays at 7 p.m. And also the Ticket is sponsoring a sprint race car with the driver Mike Boston, 8-time Eagle Raceway champion. And also we're sponsoring at the track, and therefore we have tickets. We're giving away 2 for the 19th or the 26th. The 19th or the 26th tickets work for both. The trivia question is this. This is a layup, really. I'm trying to do it since
it's a Jay Foreman layup.
It's
a
layup because I was told that they're way too hard. So
this is the AP scale trivia.
This is the Phi Beta Chi easy trivia night, when they're trying to get the party started, right? So like they're doing the beer contest. So this is it. We're gonna do the first. This is so easy. This is ridiculous. The first person that texts in, and it's okay. What is the other alma mater for Matt Rule besides the University of Penn State or Penn State University? There's a Jay Foreman connection, kind of. But we're going to do that since we're knee deep in Husker camp. We're in the third week. The hay is not in the barn. It's just kind of getting rustled up there, Austin. What do they call it? What do they call it? Wrestling up? What do they call it? Tussling? What is that?
I'm a city slicker. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
What is it when you go? You got the hay bales and they get them all tied up, so you put them on the trucks. What is it called? Hey, we need that one too. Maybe that'd be a second hour. No, that's all right. That's too easy. But anyways, let's see what we got. We got a texter in. I know they got it. They probably did with Google. Clem, what you talking about? He said Minnesota. Craig Mack, you won.
There you go.
The answer, Craig got it first, is the University of Buffalo. And it has a Craig, Austin, or how do they do it, Austin? Come by.
I will text Craig, let him know he won, and come by pick him up.
Yeah, good job, Craig. And
we'll do another one in the 5 o'clock.
Yep, it's always interesting that he went to the University of Buffalo. Matt Rule is up from New York, but I think he obviously is upstate and stuff like that. It's interesting. He also played linebacker as well. But as we're in the third week, a lot has happened. Saturday it was official, even though there've been rumblings. Xavier Betts has kind of turned it in again, and not kind of, he did. It was official. You start to hear a little bit more change in the octaves and where players are at. One of the things I think is really interesting, DP, as you are a former running back kind of receiver, where he says, like, look, yes, we have he pretty much says you have young guys that are athletically capable of playing. Ideally, I'd like to redshirt them, obviously, because a lot of them are very fast, but they need to get bigger and mature more. And he said the older guys know how to play. I want to ask your opinion, how imperative, and I for me, I never really counted on Betts. Betts would have been like a week by week. We got to week 10, then I'd be like, okay, we hit a home run here.
Trust.
So I never really counted him in the rotation. It's always, I call those guys asterisk players, guys that you don't really count on, but then somehow it ends up happening. For you, whether it's Billy Kemp, Washington, Fleeks, IGC, even if it's like a Han or a Bullock, or kind of like one of the holdovers, how important is it to you, or is it right now, or imperative for the offensive coordinator and the whole team in general, that top 3 and 4 step up immediately?
Yeah,
right?
It's vital. Matt Rule said today that the veterans will have to carry this,
right?
And that's part of the deal, and that's why you go and get a Fleeks. This is how Fleeks is. Joshua Fleeks knows the verbiage. He knows the route combination. He knows what the coaches want done. Marcus Washington, more than anything, has to get healthy. Like, he needs the Jeff Sims reps. He needs to line up as they're going to have him line up, so defenses react the way they would with him on the field, because it's different if I put Kemp in the slot and Marcus Washington outside than if I've got Kemp in the slot and Jalen Lloyd outside. Different accountability, change the way you defend it, change what the options are. So what's messing up now is it chemistry. It's just the reps of seeing the veteran guys with your quarterback to get timing, to get ball placement. Like, where do you want this thing? How do you like it? Do you like it high? Like, you can't throw the same ball at Marcus Washington that you do at Billy Kemp before. You just can't do it. It's different things in different places. Those young people, they become the garnish on the plate. They become the potatoes to your meat.
Yeah.
You don't want to just live on it, but it's nice to have for sustenance. You need to have two of these young guys come up and give you one needs to give you a deep threat, somebody that can stretch a defense. You need another possession guy in case you get beat up, and then you need a guy that's willing to stick his neck in there.
Right.
A guy that's willing to just simply get out there and block for you in the power run game. All of that's in play. We've also heard them talk about, well, listen, some of these tight ends could slide out. There'd be times when you see Fedoni outside.
Yeah.
use their talents for what they're good at, for what you need.
Yeah, I mean, I want to also ask you this: is everybody's like Betts decides to, let's just say, retire, and the good thing about it is it sounds like he's gonna at least have the option to finish out school, which is obviously the most important thing, oddly enough. But we're talking about football, and so when Betts, whatever you want to call it, retires, quits, or whatever, whenever that happens, the whole concern, oh, there goes our deep threat, right? I didn't believe. I just was like, until I see it, until in a consistent basis, it's just a story, right? And end up being just a story.
Yep.
What's your definition of a deep threat? Because I could view a deep threat, a guy that can make that 16-yard skinny post catch and maybe break a tackle, turn it in 30, 40 yards, or just make that catch. I think everybody views, a majority of people looks at a deep threat just like as a guy that can just run past people. That normally does not happen unless it's a busted coverage.
Right.
What's your idea of a deep threat? And explain the differences. We know what the layman terms is.
So Jerry Rice is a playmaker, a guy that can take any route, as you say, bang his head on a goalpost because he's just better than everybody. He makes he runs the right route.
Right.
He gets there in time, and then he finishes the play.
Right.
The deep threat is the Bob Hayes, quite simply, and it's not just speed. Yeah. It's the ability to get free release and then use your speed.
Right.
Not every fast guy can get a release.
Right.
And not every fast guy is a ball tracker once the ball's in the air. So you've got both require that you're playmakers, but there's a difference between Deshaun Jackson and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek will burn you. He can take you to the house the long route, but that's not his preferred way. He likes to torture you.
Yeah.
Like he wants to catch one. I need to beat you twice off line of scrimmage, get into space, catch it at 20, and then house the safety simply because I'm better than you. There's a difference between them. And yet Deshaun would just say, listen, I'm going to cruise at you for the first 6 yards. And I'm going to lull you into thinking, hey, he ain't that fast. And then he's going to hit that B button and turbo right on by you. And he's a center fielder. Once the ball's in the air, he tracks it and makes the play better than 99% of the receivers who've ever played football.
Yeah, I mean, could Nebraska have? And I would look at when you talked about Jerry Rice, the opposite of Jerry Rice is John Taylor.
John Taylor
was perfect because he's a little bit longer stride, right? Bigger body because he could box you out and catch those skinny posts or bang eights, whatever you want to call them. He could, if they ran some deep comebacks, he could do that. They ran deep out routes back then.
Stallworth and Swan.
Right. Two different types of guys. It's like you want to have your guy where that. So, okay. So, Billy Kemp's going to be the volume guy. Short, intermediate routes. He can hit you with, he can get you some 7 cuts if it's on time and stuff like that. And he can get you some over routes too, right? It's some over routes. I call them snake routes where it comes like a deep over route. And then once he reads the safety, he kind of turns it into like a snake and back out. And so it's not necessarily a 7 cut. It's just kind of reading that opposite.
Throw you to green rather than throw you open.
But you're running, I call it the Colt route, which is levels, what they call it. You got one short, one medium, and then here comes Marvin Harrison going to the opposite number where you're doing that. But then the guy that could be going to the opposite number actually goes back out that way based on the other safety, or if a linebacker picks him up. Billy Kemp can do that, but not on a consistent basis. He's second and third level, top down, what you're talking about, right?
8 of the 12 games, Billy Kemp can do that.
Right.
Against Michigan State, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Against Wisconsin, it'll be a problem. Against Iowa, it'll be a
very big problem. So he's going to be there. Could you envision a Marcus Washington being that? Or maybe or a IGC. Now, IGC is going to be different, right? Which is going to be interesting, right? You heard it he wanted to be number 1, whatever that was, and it ended up not working. Now he's here. I need to get him healthy. Obviously, what they're working towards. But if he can play somewhat like he did that first game against Northwestern, along with Marcus Washington, taking the confidence that he got that last quarter of the season, especially that Iowa game, right? Well, now both Trey and him were killing him, but they kind of were Trey kind of went off, and then Marcus kind of, finished the deal. If you can do that, you have a nice little combination of guys.
Trey's emergence is what led to IGC being got.
Sure.
The moment he identifies that Casey had a greater trust for Trey with his ball skills. Like, remember, the first touchdown of the year is IGC.
Yeah.
That was the first one. But then you realize, oh, my goodness, when I'm under duress as a quarterback, you teach quarterbacks and you tell them, go to where you trust with the ball. Like, just get it out there. And I would tell Barry Thompson, listen, man, you throw it to Green, I'll get there first.
Right.
Trey did it better than Isaiah did, and that led to, well, wait a minute, that's supposed to, like, in a 50-50 ball, you're supposed to come to my way.
Right.
No, I'm going to the dude I trust. He can do that again this year, but he's going to run into the same problems.
I was just about to ask you.
He's going to run into the same problems because quarterbacks above everything else go to who they trust rather than what the read is. Trust over read. It's a thing that happens. Mahomes says it. I trust Travis Kelce more, even if I don't know what he's running. Like, he doesn't even have routes for Travis Kelce. Like, just get open. Oh, there's a green spot over near you, Travis. Travis trusts him to, if he's going to throw me 4 yards to my left or to my right, there's no traffic over there. I'm not going to get my head taken off, so he can go after it hard. This offense is going to have that issue. Kemp's going to be the easy throw for quarterbacks is right in the lanes from hash to hash. You feel more comfortable. You can see the pressure in your face. Your two reads are literally sitting right in front of you. If they don't split, it's an easy throw. If they split, then you're just choosing one of the two. Kemp is going to be the guy in the slot or outside where it's just catch the snap, turn, throw, and hit Kemp and let him get you 5 yards and reload it again. Can you do that with IGC? Can you do that with Marcus Washington? You did it a year ago because you had Trey. We don't know whether they're going to use Marcus Washington as Trey, or are you going to hope that IGC can be Trey and then Marcus Washington can take the 31 catch year that he had, not being a feature, and then turn it into a 50 catch year because we trust him more. Jeff Sims it's a new life for IGC and for Marcus Washington. Jeff Sims is a big deal to them. Like, that's a plus 20 catch year radius for both of them if they get it right. And then Satterfield likes to use it. Like, he likes to bore you to paint. Kemp for 4, Kemp for 6. Okay, I'm going to go to Fedoni for 5. Ramir out of the backfield. Dive. Option. Got you on the pump. Now I can go get to work, and then it's IGC and Marcus Washington time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I think before we go to break is ultimately, how you handle your success and other people's success. And if you're a good player, stats are important, right? But if you have a good wide receiver room, like if you're at Alabama, right, and they got all those guys in there, like if they know you're good, they're not going to say, well, I can't draft him in the first round or second round because he doesn't have 800 yards. He only has 600. Well, you got 1,000 yards. You got Amari Cooper in there and Julio Jones, and you only get we know he's a dude. So I think that's good as much as is the roles, but is accepting your role and being okay with it and being the best, because if you're consistently open and even whether they're comfortable or not, if you're consistently open, they're going to be telling you.
I'm going to look at you.
You better be throwing that ball there.
I'm going to look at you.
Right. And so that's where he's got to really stick to it. I think hopefully if IGC was a learning experience from him, and he probably felt a little bit embarrassed at the end of the day of it because Trey took off. And I think look, if Trey takes off, you take off. It's not just one guy. Trey took off because he continued to work at it. And then that's where the success came from. So as long as he embraces that, and I think he, fully is aware of it, this is the time to seize the opportunity.
It's a big run, and weeks 1 and 2 will speak volumes because trust in season 1 and games 1 and 2 will tell us how the rest of this. One, it'll tell us how it was supposed to play out, right? What did Satterfield think was going to work the most?
Yeah,
that's what you call in games 1 and 2. And then you adjust in week 3 when you have some wiggle room with a lesser opponent.
Yeah. And before we go to break, this will really tell you the guys that are practice players and game players.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys that run around and real free in practice. Get out there in the games, they freeze up like a icy pop, man. So we'll see. There's a good first segment. We're going to keep diving into this. Maybe get some audio from Matt Rule and company. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through August 15th are $2 off packaged grass-fed, grass-finished New York strip with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? Big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brantexcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brant.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, knee deep into summer camp. We don't even call this fall camp. Fall camp, this guy, we're going to keep holding on to the summer. We ain't going to have no choice these next few days. You know, one thing about that's going to be good for the heat wave coming, the football team ain't going to have no choice but to be in shape. So by the time they get up there and play Minnesota in the Twin Cities, even though it's a night game, it could be hot and humid. They'll be well prepared for it. And, you know, they've had a pretty good camp so far. But I want to flip to the defensive side of the ball, right? You know, I think it's official that Miles Farmer is going to Syracuse. Probably was one of the landing spots that people kind of predicted. And with the loss of him, you know, it's no different than Betts, right? Two guys that you would hope to kind of get in line or, you know, find a way to kind of be, you know, effective this year. And, you know, because the talent is there, right? Left a hole in your defense because it changes the roles. This is what people don't understand. Like, it's so easy for like people that cover the team or just say, oh, well, you know, we'll just throw so-and-so in there. Well, what you're missing is this. The amount of reps, whether with this staff or the other staff, Miles was there. Also, the amount of reps that he got in the preseason. Now, they might have been rotating, right? But coaches might not say it, but this is reality of all coaches. And you know this, DP. When they come into new situations, as long as you kind of fall in line and welcome the new ways, they generally want to play older players with experience because they pick up on things faster. They know how to play. If DP has, you know, 20 games of starting experience, he knows the opponents. He's been out there. Him pulling up to Minneapolis Stadium it's a big deal, but it's not sticker shock to him. So that's what you're losing. Now, that doesn't mean a Deshaun Singleton. That doesn't mean a Gifford. That doesn't mean an Omar Brown. That doesn't mean anybody else that you know is in that rotation as, let's call them post safeties, right? Not, let's say they play with, say like in this 3-3-5, they have three kind of safety body types. One's kind of like your extra, your thumper, you know, kind of like, wish it was Bob Sanders, but somebody like your cleanup guy, right? But then two regular safeties. It changes your rotation because if you have four guys rotating for 2 spots in competition, it goes down to 3. Somebody's going to be overextended, but then it brings somebody else in the mix. So then it messes up your continuity. And that's why it's so important for guys to to understand it's bigger than you. The pigskin will lead you to your glory. Like, this is what I would tell kids. Now, there is coaches out there that won't play the better player. There is. There's high school coaches that right here, that around here that do that, right? Because they're younger and they think you got to wait. You know, a high school coach told me there's an art to waiting. Waiting for what? Like, you Mike Krzyzewski or something, dude? Like, waiting for what? Well, anyways, so like if you can play, their jobs are on the line. And plus, when they go and they bring recruits in, right? Just imagine I'm the defensive back coach. I'm coaching DB or DP, and he's a senior, and he's playing well. As I'm talking and recruiting Austin, we're watching tape of somebody that's executing this defense or playing well. So it's better for him as the coach and the football team and the program for DP to do well. The problem lies in is I would always ask this: do you want to be one of many or one of one? A lot of times you do, right? You want to be one of one. You want to be the best at your position And I want to be that guy, right? Like when they think of a quarterback, I don't want to be one of one. I want to be the guy when everybody says who's the starter, that's so and so. In this case, you don't. Or do you want to be one of few or one of many, right? Do you want to be one of the few guys that couldn't find a way to show up on time, eat on time, be a part of team concepts, and go out there and practice hard and take advantage of the competition and all that stuff? Do you want to be one of those guys, or do you want to be one of the 99% of the guys that somehow, some way got out of their feelings and has found a way to make it through, well, summer camp and fall camp?
Well, that was the IGC thing. Are you willing to do the same work to be number one as number three? Because not everybody is. Not everybody's willing to be the guy that you rely on at the biggest moments rather than all the moments, or the moments that matter. Like, oh, I need the ball when it matters most. I remember hearing Andy Reid talking about T.O., and he said what he loved about T.O. is that T.O. never complained about the 2nd and 7 throw. He never complained about the 1st and 10 throw. What T.O. wanted and would get upset about was that 3rd and 9 throw where you chose to go elsewhere when I did everything for you. I was present. I'm there, and I'm reliable, and I have history to it. And he would tell McNabb, I've never let you down on 3rd and 7. Like, just, to work for that. This team has to figure out. I mean, you talk about defensive backs, right? That in a 3-3-5 where you need, it's a Swiss Army knife full of skills that are required, and you need them at different times. So this 2 weeks of practice, all of that was flushed down the toilet with Miles Farmer. It's gone. It's gone. Like, all the reps, and now that voice, like his place in the room, you have to fill it. But he's one of one. You can't just replace. It's going to take 3 of them young dudes to do everything that he does.
Yeah,
and to know what he knows.
Yeah, and I think for them that's good. It was the only good thing about it is that he wasn't in camp ever. So the first couple days, it's just like somebody gets cut that actually probably shouldn't have in the NFL. You talk about the first couple days and you're kind of moving on. And also he wasn't there, and he was suspended or whatever you want to call it. So that was good. And I'm sure they knew about this going in before camp because your habits.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Your habits were well established before August 1st or whenever they open camp. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you are who you are, and who you decided. You didn't kind of work your way out of the doghouse or out of your own doghouse or get out of your own way, and you continue to find a way to do it your way. It didn't really work out, but yes, you're right. The authority figure, right, has to be established. Now, here's the tricky part. You have to establish it simultaneously with your work, right? That means being the first in line and doing everything you need to do, right? That's dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Then you have to do it simultaneously as this all is going on with your play on the field, right? Then you have to be strategic as you go along and establish the first 2 things that I talked about, when you will step into the pecking order of leadership, right? So let's just say Ty Robinson, just because he's a elder statesman on the D-line, is a guy that's going to call everybody up, Nick Heinrich and then Luke Reimer, right? Well, then you're the guy that's up the middle. We're talking post safeties, whether it's Singleton, Gifford, Brown. 1 or 2 of those 3, you have to find your role within there, even though you're the lead dog in the defensive back room. It takes time because you can't afford a day off. You can't afford to not feel well. You can't afford to not push yourself through practicing while you're hurt or a little dinged up. Oh yeah, my shoulders. Yeah, you can let the people know, but you still got to practice, because those are the things that they're actually watching. Oh, Jay Foreman's not on the team. DP's kind of like the foregone conclusion as a starter because me and him were in competition. Well, then all of a sudden now he starts to feel himself, and then all of a sudden, oh well, you know what, he's not lifting with us anymore, or he's not, say he's got a little dinged up shoulder or wrist or something. All of a sudden now he's out for 2 days, chilling and getting comfortable. This is when you actually have to up your effort, up your intensity, because
especially now,
now,
right?
On top of
right,
you're the clock is ticking faster. But I'm just talking about, if you want to be out there and be able to play without any anxiety and being held back by any second thoughts on Thursday night in a couple weeks. You have to overexert yourself and put yourself in game-like situations, because if Miles was getting them once the say majority of 1 reps or even 50% of those reps, the pressure of the person that never played before or started before is a lot different now.
And he's not facing the number 2 isn't getting reps against number 1.
Right.
The number 3's not getting reps against
Right.
number 1, and it changes the whole thing. But I wanted to ask you, maybe you lit a light that you as an injured player, the value in you practicing even at 60%.
Yeah.
Because 1, you could walk through, see what the lineup looked like, imagine in your head what your reactions and reads were supposed to be, and hear what other people would say in that situation.
Sure.
So that when you were at 90%, you were still on page with them.
Right. Well, I mean, look, if you got a banged up shoulder and you're not going to do any run, you're in the walkthrough, you're getting taped, you're on. Like every day for this team. And I think Matt Rule has said it. I don't know who else said it. Look, it's 4th and 1 and the game's on the line.
Yeah.
Like your job's on the line. Yeah. Like your legacy's on the line. What you want to be known as, especially if you're a senior. I mean, if you're a senior, there's only 12 of them, I think, and I don't think all of them start or whatever. Like, what do you want to be known for? I mean, you have it right in front of you. Yes, Minnesota's established program, and they've had their way with Nebraska in certain situations, but they have problems or issues in their camp as well. It's not the same Minnesota team, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easier. The playing field has leveled, right?
They think they're better than they were a year ago.
Well, they think they're better by
they're a top 20 team.
Addition by subtraction. But they think. They don't know yet, because here's why. They don't know what they have at quarterback because he's never started.
Kelly McManus is
They really don't know what they have at running back because the one that they got came from a smaller Division I school, and he hasn't faced Big Ten defense.
That's their big question.
Right.
That is their big question. But they got some dudes.
They got dudes at the skill positions, and their defense is going to be good, but they still don't know, because as a defensive player, if me and Austin is over there and we're getting Gatorade or whatever, and we got DP, kind of like Mo Ibrahim, right? And we know it's 3rd and 1, chances are we're still drinking our Gatorade because we're watching him get the first down.
You're right.
Right? So you got to think that one position of what that one player controlled the whole team by his play and his execute. Now, granted, the offensive line play, but Mo Ibrahim, he was special. He knew the Big Ten. People feared him. So when you got off the bus, right, you knew 120 yards or whatever he averaged. And I mean, heck, up until he tore his ACL, he was single-handedly torching Ohio State that first game.
He's a game closer against Nebraska.
Right.
Like it's a thing. You get used to it. And it is that thing you talk about. And I did have one of the reporters reach out to me and having the discussion. He talked about that your quarterback, while new, being in charge for the whole season, the best thing for him is to open against Nebraska, a foe that he had.
Oh, he had confidence in, sure, yeah. I mean, he knows some of the players.
Yeah.
But also what they don't understand is he's been evaluated all off season. It's different coming in as a relief pitcher. There's less pressure. I've been in that position, and it's a lot different when they know you're in the starting lineup. And like, man, last year when I played against you, you know, that cutoff block where you didn't know who I was. Now you up here, you scooping up to me,
looking
for me, right? And they're running different blocking schemes that slow me down a little bit. So it's a big difference game. It's all right in front of them. They got a tremendous opportunity, but we're going to take a quick break and then come back at the bottom of the hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway's regular season is winding down, so get out there while you can to get your racing fix. This Saturday, August 19th, Pepsi, the Nebraska Lottery, and Empire Fence present the Back to School Bash, featuring the Twin River Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and the A1 Iron Stock Cars. Plus, don't miss the School Bus Demolition Derby after the races. Let's go racing at Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. You can check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine along with some calm winds. We'll see an afternoon high of around 83. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies with an overnight low of around 61. Tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with a light breeze. A little bit hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 92. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we are back. Jay Foreman, DP, quick segment before we get to the bottom of the hour, or the top of the hour, actually, my bad, and get this party started. Fastest hour in sports radio, old school. Want to ask you guys this. What do you think and I want Austin in this as well. What do you think of Anthony Richardson saying that he was shocked that he had been named the Colts starter? Obviously, pretty quick after obviously a pretty good offseason, as they said that he's been having. But it thought that Minshew was going to be the starter, at least for the first, until they got out of the playoff race. But being shocked that named as at the starter, that's not the normal reaction from the number 4 pick. You're number 4 pick, you should be expecting to be the starter. Shocked probably was him just kind of just being too open. I want to know what your guys' thoughts of him being the starter, named the starter so quickly. No, granted, I think he's the next level talent. Gardner Minshew is a good kind of, Fitzgerald or whatever his name is, kind of like
Fitzpatrick
Fitzpatrick
backup type.
Stopgap. But I want to know what you guys think about that.
Austin, go ahead, because I kind of want to laugh a little bit in my response.
Okay. Shocked, yeah, maybe a little too open, but don't forget this is a guy that started 14 games since high school, so he hasn't been named the starter a lot necessarily. I hope it's a kid that is just being humble, and I hope it's not a sign of, yeah, I played like trash, but coach is still starting me. Like, if he's shocked because he's been playing that bad in preseason, and he thought he was gonna have to sit the bench, that's one thing. If he's shocked because he's not used to starting or he's trying to be humble, that's another thing.
Could it be? I will go 3 amigos right here. Could it be that maybe you have found out that Gardner Minshew is not the answer?
Yeah.
Could it be
that all along?
Could it be that he was much more attractive from a distance? FA.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, because I think that it's like with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was probably the Commanders or Buffalo who were dumb enough to get duped by
all of them.
The chuck and duck numbers and playing good, and then when he throws 10 passes and has 4 picks and one for a house call, another a red zone pick, you're like, this dude is not worth $13 million, but we just signed him to 3-year deal.
You paid him to go away. You
Yeah.
paid him to go away.
Right.
That's what's hilarious to me. This is another, in the Gardner Minshew situation, it's the thing that you have to, it's one thing to play off stats and then reputation. But when you actually get in the room and he got to look Jay Foreman in the face at practice, and Jay say, hey, coach, he ain't the one. Like Jay, like them dudes see him. That coach, that defense sees him every day.
Right.
And they recognize, you know what? I'm much more afraid of that young dude who can put his foot in the ground and has got a little wild stallion in him.
Right.
And be intrigued by that.
Playing off of that point, what was Shane Steichen seeing in Philly that he did see or didn't see in Indianapolis, right? Like, he should have known going in that Gardner Minshew, how he looked, right?
Don't let your boy get you fired.
Yeah, and I think if they thought, like, hey, if this kid doesn't progress, and I think part of it, look, I don't think they was like Anthony Richardson is just garbage and we're just going to start him just because we invested so much in him. I think he's progressed to the point that the coach is like, listen, I can work with this. We have experience working with, obviously, I felt, not an inexperienced college starter, but inexperienced NFL player and kind of a project, right? Where Hurts was, he had to improve his, pocket presence and throwing guys open and stuff like that. And also devising a playbook that fits his athletic ability. It's actually easier maybe to coach Richardson in your first year because you can go back to recent history, which is the last 2 years with somebody that's even bigger, faster, and stronger, obviously just not as good yet, versus Gardner Minshew. You got to change that whole playbook. And then I think here, before we go to break, I think Jonathan Taylor holding out and them also signing another running back and Zach Moss getting hurt, I think they were like, oh, we need a X factor just to stay alive, because even if Jonathan Taylor comes back in a couple of weeks, he's not in full season mode yet or season shape. Most likely he might not start the season. So we need more out of our quarterback to create some advantage.
You take one more defender out of the block with a quarterback who can pull it and run. That's what that is. Jonathan Taylor sitting back applauding. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. And what do you know, Jonathan
One
Taylor?
defender out of Jonathan Taylor. Even one defender out of the block. That's all I need, bro.
And you know what he's saying? Yeah, go out there, rookie. By week 4, you're going to be struggling. And guess whose price just keeps going up? Mine. So it's going to work out for both sides. But I just want to get Austin's thoughts on that. So we're going to go to a break. DP, Jay Foreman, old school. The top of the hour, DP. You got about 5 minutes to prepare for this. We're going to talk about the Commanders. And we're going to try to guess what player went in there and talked to Ron Rivera and said Eric Bieniemy is too hard.
Oh, I know who it
is. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Great Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15. 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
5 o'clock hour, Jay Foreman DP, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Hey, text line. I got me a tomahawk, man. I want to know, how long do you guys marinate it before you throw on the grill? If you guys got tips, or I won't say recipes, because you don't ever need to season tomahawks too much. You got tips on how long you season it, and marinate it, obviously room temperature or whatever. Text them in.
I tell you what, we're
gonna do this weekend. We're gonna do this weekend.
We'll add to,
because it's gonna be 8,000 degrees outside.
We'll add
8,000
for the best recipe. So
yeah,
this is tomahawk, right?
Yeah, tomahawk.
So whether it's
no bootleg recipes,
whether you're seasoning it, marinating it, and then you cooked it. It's like how you cook it.
Yeah.
But we need, listen, I want one text. I don't need like 38 different texts going through it. I need one text from you saying, okay, so the tomahawk showed up at your door. And
take us through the process,
right?
24 to 48 hours.
It's 12 o'clock Friday. You gonna grill this bad boy Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I need to know what it is. We'll give you VIP passes to Eagle Raceway. And this is the VIP joints, right? Corporate guest pass, special entrance, food, the whole shebang bang for either one of the next 2 weekends. And we'll give you a pair for that, for the best response on what to do. It's a tomahawk. I sent Jay a video of this dude.
Man, he had 8,000 tomahawks on there.
Man.
And I was like, that can't be real.
It looks so good.
And he had them all cooked the same way. And that was a huge grill. It was like a huge metal,
like a bed
circular thing that just had.
How do you get the ones in the middle? How do you reach them?
Well, the thing, these tomahawks, I don't know what where he got it from. It looked like it was some mooses or something, man. The bones on those things were so long, so it must have been those extra large animals that got them from. So I don't know.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna find the one I sent Jay. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it was impressive, and so we need we need what you guys think. So look up Adam Perry, Langfull's Tulane Tanner. What is this? Is that is that a bad text or something?
No, he's Adam Perry.
Tulane Tanner.
Don't know.
That's the texter's name is Tulane Tanner.
Got it. SPG rub. Jay, what's the SPG rub?
I don't know. Olive oil, rosemary,
salt, pepper.
And Adam Perry Lang is a chef.
Okay. So what's the G in? So salt, pepper, something rub, olive oil, rosemary, olive oil. Let it sit at room temp and reverse sear.
I like that.
Okay. Granulated garlic.
Okay. Got you.
I got you. Well, like we said before we got off at the bottom of the hour, DP, we're gonna put you on blast from your Commanders, man. It's we didn't really get to cover it last week, but you're in that training camp mode where look, Eric Bieniemy is a straightforward shooter. He's a football coach, and he loves it. He loves the kids that are the men that he coaches.
Mm-hmm.
He's been very successful. First of all, as a player, assistant coach. He's coached Hall of Fame players, future Hall of Fame players. Coached with obviously Andy Reid, Hall of Fame coach, multiple times Super Bowl champion, AFC championship champion, all that stuff. Then he goes to the Commanders to fix their offense, to help their offense, and it's a job that he really. And like he said, I think in his intro conference it's a big risk for him because he could have stayed pat and went back at some form or fashion back to the Chiefs and went try to go back to back, and they would have walked on the back or went to somewhere else. He chose the Commanders. Look, with the coach somewhat on a hot seat, obviously turmoil with the ownership, even though it's been fixed and remedied. But he went and took an offensive coordinator position with a quarterback with zero experience and starting experience, and obviously credibility in the league, but a tremendous amount of talent in the skill positions from top to bottom, a better than average offensive line. And the first thing that you hear out of camp was a player or players. Generally, when they say players, it's one player, and it's always the guy that's not in practice all the time. That's always available to talk. That's kind of has the in the vision. He's a guy that has a lot of potential and superior talent, but lacks a little bit of edge.
That's the most popular guy on the team,
right?
Because people like him. He talks to everybody. The media gives him benefit of the doubt. Remember, Austin, we talked about the four fence posts, right? The best player, highest football IQ, smartest player off the field, so he gets you through some corners, and then the most popular guy, the guy who has the most natural swagger, right? Bit of a BSer, right? Because he can get through
to everybody in the locker
room,
right?
He's the one. He can work the room. He gets in the corner of the room. In this situation, immediately my mind went to several players. One, I went to Logan Thomas, quarterback in college, high-level football player, but the standard has been changed for him. Told him, listen, this is a Bieniemy system. Who did he favor in Kansas City? Tight end. So you need for him to run what he wants to run. He can't be John Bates. That's not who that is. Can't be Cole Turner. Has to be Logan Thomas. And if Thomas, who is chronically hurt because he's working with a different body than he played with in college, quarterback body versus tight end body in the NFL, different deal. So it's, as Jay said, the guy that's kind of there, high IQ, talented, but often injured, very likable on the microphone. I went next level with De'Ami Brown, who was super talented in North Carolina, very popular. But guess what? Now you've got a different – if you could prototype a Tyreek Hill type player off this Commander offense, it's De'Ami Brown. It's De'Ami Brown. And then he says to him, listen, you can't beat Cheetah without doing Cheetah work. Like that's the real difference maker for all these players is now the standard has changed. The BS that got you out of the playoffs is not accepted anymore because you have somebody that can tell you that's not what it looked like, bro. That's not Antonio Gibson, a receiver in college. Bieniemy knows how to use those running backs.
Yeah.
But he's got Brian Robinson Jr., who's a stone cold stud. Right. And if you're Antonio Gibson and received a lot of hype, and you can help this team by being the pass receiving slash runner that Kansas City used in their offense, then you got to listen to the dude that can tell you what to do to be successful. And if you've never had anybody 3 years, they tell you, hey, man, just be you. Just be you. That's good enough. Right. Then you have somebody say, no, man, you need to be the best you for me.
Every day.
Like for all of this stuff. So, yeah, it gives me some hope that the standards are changing, the work ethic changes, and then it would lead me to question, well, who's going to do that for Kansas City now that Bieniemy is gone?
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is, as much as he would get up in Patrick Mahomes stuff or calm him down, and B, like when Patrick would come up, he would say, hey man, you need to calm down. Or you saw the game when they were playing out at LA against the Chargers that Mahomes wanted to go for it. They wanted to get into the locker room, regroup because they weren't playing well. That's gone.
Yeah.
And now it's in Washington. I think what Antonio Gibson needs to understand, I'm sure he's thinking he wants to be the starter. You could make more money as being kind of like a Pollard in Dallas, meaning you might not be the starter, but you're getting like 8 to 12 carries and say like 8 to 14 touches, because you might have more touches out of the backfield one game and then 50-50 the next, and be that effective player.
With the second best defense on the field in the most highly critical moment,
and matchup
right,
prowess against a linebacker
for you to win,
or
right?
something like that, because you can't, it's hard for you to turn your nose up at Dotson, McLaurin, Samuel as 3 starting wide receivers. You get Logan Thomas to get out of his own way, and if not, you need John Bates to step up in a superior way. It takes all the pressure off of Howell. You got a thumper in Brian Robinson that
you went and got a fullback,
right? You got a
fullback. Familiar, Nebraska. They went and got a fullback,
real fullback.
Got a real fullback, and now and they're flashing it. They're showing it.
Right.
Like, just imagine again, which is why Nebraska fans. Jay, tell us the difference between a team will line up with you that week with a fullback or without a fullback.
Well, here's really the biggest difference. A lot of teams, and some teams get away with it and some teams do really good at it. But so okay, let's look at Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They generally, sometimes they'll at least have 2 tight ends and sometimes a 3. When they were really good, I felt like running the ball. They had a guy who was number 42, I think, and he was a fullback, but he was the size of a lineman, so he could be.
They had Asiata for a bit, big
right.
Polynesian fullback,
right.
short yardage guy who did some banging. Then they brought in a buddy of his to bang for him.
Right. So they had it, and so when you think of like the Gophers, when they go 3 tight ends and that fullback or in that tight end that moves tight end goes in the backfield, see, them dudes don't want that. They don't want to come up in the hole and see a Jay Foreman or a linebacker. They don't want that, right? And especially at the NFL, them tight ends don't want to ISO block.
Hands get hurt,
right?
Right, bruised up.
Well, you got to think a real fullback is 6 foot at most.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of these tight ends are 6'5", 6'6". They ain't got the leverage, and so they don't want to be a fullback, right?
Does that worry you about Janaron Bonner at all?
No, because he's going to be kind of like Jusic at San Fran.
Yeah, well, you're going to run him out,
and he's going to be able to get the edge. He's going to be able to do that.
Give the impression that he can block you there, but he's only going to bleed through that linebacker and sit down behind him.
Or he's going to be able to get out on the edge and be physical out there.
Yeah.
But when you have a real fullback that's about that business, that means you expand that running playbook to power G, power weak. You can do. I think the power or ISO power weak is the hardest play.
He got a neck
because you're when you're running it to the weak side, it's actually you don't have that extra defender in there to kind of trip up your runner. You can hit your head on the goalpost and they can bleed you to death. So
Right.
Then also, if you have a fullback that can actually run a couple pass routes that can catch that 3rd and 3 and turn it up.
Sam Gash was like, it was perfect. He caught 18 balls a year, but they were all first downs.
Right.
And
nobody covers them.
Right. Like it was just.
So if you could catch it out of the backfield and then say, he turns up and say you throw the curl route, you do a flat curl, you throw it the curl guy breaks the tackle, the fullback comes and gets a big block. That's how you get explosive plays. And so what Washington may do, they're gonna try to thump you. And Brian Robinson is a real deal running back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Rodriguez, who you drafted this year, and then along with Gibson, you're really trying to make it real comfortable with a young quarterback. And it's really good for Howell. And if it was whoever went in there or whatever the guys were that went up there and said, man, this is too intense. If you have Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Cheetah all talking about, yeah, it's hard at first, but it's going to be the best thing for you, and you guys haven't won anything, that's part of why you haven't won anything. And that's when you look at Nebraska, that's the difference. Sometimes you fight newness and change out of habit because you're used to doing just enough to get by, but you're viewing it and sometimes have been viewed as doing really good things. So when somebody's coming in and introducing you to, in this case, down there at the stadium, a higher percentage of demand, a higher percentage of accountability, a higher percentage of expectations, and just flat out frankness, like you need to earn everything that you get here, right? Does it mean I don't like you? It doesn't really mean he's really telling you you necessarily don't have to be an all Big Ten player if you're not that good. But what you're not going to do is not be an all Big Ten player and then be, a below practice squad type of practice player or teammate, because then you're not only wasting my time, which would be the coach, your teammates' time, and everybody else's
It's
time.
the fake and the funk.
Right.
It's fake and the funk. You say you want to win, and you give half effort at inappropriate times that you're putting in the effort.
Right.
But when they need it, when it gets as they say, when the road gets really trafficky,
right,
what do? It's a big difference maker.
So you're really trying to change the habit. So really, when you look at Matt Rule and Eric Bieniemy, Deion Sanders, Primetime Sanders, all these coaches are going new places. You're really trying to start by changing their work habits and expectations, and those are hard things to do. When you look at PJ Fleck did it. When you look at Colorado, a 1-11 team, and those dudes were mad because the dude said, "I'm coming. I'm bringing better players." You guys are 1-11. If you were doing the things that you needed to do, that the past coaching staff probably wanted you to do to the maximum and then some, Matt Rule wouldn't be here. Deion wouldn't be in Colorado. Eric Bieniemy wouldn't be in Washington. Generally, if you're besides Jerry Jones, you don't fire winning coaches. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones ran Jimmy Johnson up out of there because he wanted to be the GM head coach and get all the credit. Well, Jimmy was being the head coach and Jimmy wanted to be the GM, and it was just a clash of the Titans. So I think if self-awareness is there, but I think those type of guys, I think there's enough guys, especially with McLaurin. Mm-hmm. He's a really good leader. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll handle that before Ron Rivera does. I think with Eric Bieniemy, and you see it some with Matt Rule, and I said, you don't want to be one of a few, right? The one of the few that don't get it and can't get in line. They'll get those guys in line, and then the success will come from with the offense because they have talent to be effective in the NFC East. They are a matchup problem because they're not scared of the Cowboys.
They beat the Eagles.
Yep. And they're thinking that when they're looking at the Giants, they're a one-hit wonder.
Yep.
Because that defense is thinking, if I can get in there, if the Saquon isn't, on a heater like it was last year, Danny Dimes, we like that because they don't have him being on the outside that can challenge you.
Well, you didn't have two of your horses in the middle of that defense again. And here's the part that, and coming from DC, what I hear is that the best thing for this offense, and that what Bieniemy is a surefire sign that for Bieniemy that they're going to be all right, is that they have to face that defense every day.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice but to get good.
Like he's like, listen, man, I'll take the Washington defense. He said, I'll take them over everybody else in the NFC East. And then if I have to work at their standard, and remember that they're still chasing the Eagles after kicking the Eagles' tail,
right?
The offense will get better.
The defense will get better with a better offensive game plan, a better execution. Like I said, when you're sitting on the sideline and it's 3rd and 3, and you know that I've been there. When I was down in Houston, I know we ain't even 3rd and 1. I'm over there ready to go. Punt team, get ready.
Helmet
on and everything.
Yeah.
Get the Gatorade. So like when you're a defensive player and you have confidence, that was like when Tommy played and Scott played. We knew that they will get that yard. And you saw it, like you need a quarterback or an offense that's going to be the defense's best friend. That's how defenses are really, really consistent, and then they can become dominant.
Did you see the text for you? Jay, what fullback really hit you hard in the NFL or college?
Well, Corey Schlesinger, for real. Like when I was a little pipsqueak and I was on, I was a red shirt. So Corey Schlesinger baptized me. Everything else was downhill after that. So it was Corey Schlesinger, and then I had to find a way to keep my shoulders healthy, and I had to get in the weight room and everything else. Corey Schlesinger, in the league we call him Ram Man, one pop, because he was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So I would just give him the dead leg. He'd go flying. He'd be old flyby, right? In the league, I'm gonna tell you who used to bring the heat, and I'm gonna tell you about it. Is I'll never forget this. Is Sam Gash. And you hear about Sam Gash, and I've watched him. He was at Penn State. And I knew who he was when I came into camp. And, we had Antoine Smith as our running back. And you hear about Sam Gash. And we had this outside linebacker named Dan Brandenburg. My man did not miss a day doing biceps and triceps. But he had these skinny old bird legs because he was a former basketball player. Now, listen, my man had a 39-inch 40-inch vertical. He could hoop because we'd hoop, after working out. But he was only 225, 230, but he had these big old arms. Bruce DeHaven loved him because he was good on special teams, fast, great athlete. He wasn't a starter, but he was the number 2 guy. So we get into 9-on-7. The first, the first couple of days we're in, helmets for 9-on-7. So you walking out there, I'm nervous because I know I can hit at Nebraska and be physical in college. They got a line. And so Sam Coward had tweaked his groin. Ted Cottrell gets me the night before. You running with the ones, right? I'm thinking I could be chilling where I could go against the 2s and kind of go against guys my level, right? So we get in that bad boy, and they ran a split zone, So Sam Gash would be in the fullback, and then he would kick out the end, and then it was an inside zone. So Antoine, go left and cut back, right? The one thing I knew, my dad told me, he's you always pick the biggest and baddest dude in that thing, and you go knock his head off regardless. You would have thought I was in a run blitz. I timed up that thing, blew up Reuben Brown, made the tackle. I'm running around talking junk, and all I heard was woo, right? I was thinking it was a 1 or 2 yard gain. I'm a rookie. They shouldn't be nobody. Sam Gash hit Dan Brandenburg and looked like something off of a cartoon. Hit this man and ejected him up in the air. Boom. So I'm like, dang, So, but I was like, oh, I was prepared for it in the ISO. So now we're in the season, right? And, we get back then you get it on your phone, but we'd get the injury report of the teams we were playing. We were playing the Dolphins. This was Zach Thomas. They had Gardner, Bowen, Jason Taylor. I mean, them dudes had some dudes. I mean, that was the best defense in the league. Brock Marion back there, Patrick Surtain Sr., and Sam Madison was the corner. So it was a battle of defenses. So I'm next to Sam. We used to call him Big Cuz because he would be in there, and he had one of them old school neck rolls, and he would
super thick.
And hey, Austin, he had the biggest dip in his mouth. He country is all get out. And
Big Cuz fullback.
Yeah, and Big Cuz would be sitting there, and he was doing it. He getting loose, and he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get him today. And he started having this look in his eyes. So I was like, what's up, Big Cuz? What's on your mind? He's like, yeah. He's like, Zach Thomas had a little slight concussion last week. He's like, he's going to be out the game today. He's like, he's mine today. So I'm like, oh, I went over to my boy Bryson. I said, listen, Big Cuz is on I said, hey.
He's on a heater.
I said, Big Cuz is on a mission, right? I look out there at the second quarter, ISO, because we got the ball on the 22-yard line. Big Cuz came. It was like a ram. He came through there high, dropped that head on Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was running off, shoulder sleep, staggering 8 count.
Stanger.
He came back though.
Stanger.
And you would have thought Sam scored a touchdown. 3-yard gain, and he running around. He's like, yeah, I got him. I was like, oh man. So it would probably be Corey Schlesinger, but I seen Big Cuz make plenty of linebackers tap out. Like, hey, that's it. Because he was a soul snatcher, man. And but he's one of the greatest teammates I ever had. Most humble and polite guys, you know what I'm saying, off the field. But before them games, boy, he be thinking some crazy stuff. So Sam Gash always, his son walked on at Michigan, and I always talk to him every time Nebraska's gonna play Michigan, but I always check in with Big Cuz. But good story time there. And I will tell you this right here, unknown texter, to be honest with you, I never feared no fullbacks. That was the thing. You never talked about fullbacks because it had to be just a known that we were going to get him. But there was something that brought some heat. Jay Foreman, DP. We're going to go to break and come back in one more long segment. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through August 15th are $2 off packaged grass-fed, grass-finished New York strip with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bearschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bearschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
IT projects piling up again? Managing IT can definitely be frustrating. Whether you have an in-house IT department or you manage it yourself, let Hamilton be your experts. At Hamilton, we take the frustration out of your business tech issues with managed IT solutions. We specialize in co-managed and fully managed IT. Does your business need better managed IT? Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine along with some calm winds. We'll see an afternoon high of around 83. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies with an overnight low of around 61. Tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine with a light breeze. A little bit hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 92. Meteorologist Kyle Cluckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos. A little story time with my main man, Sam Gash. I love me some Sam Gash, man. I do, man. He was one of the best teammates I ever had, man. I'm telling you, because my man was I mean, the thing that was so like interested to me, DP, about Sam Gash, because he was so country though. My man would be like, but he appreciated football so much. He appreciated teammates so much. But my man was so country. I mean, the dip in his mouth was just like he needed a statue. It's almost like it was like, man, how can you even speak? And he was like, man, I'm a head buster. He's like, I know what I'm doing. And everything he did, I'm telling you, he headbutting you in everything he did. And I liked it.
I pulled up a picture and I see exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he had the old school neck braid. And you know who really loved?
He's a Carolina boy. Okay,
Yeah.
he's from Hendersonville. That
Right.
makes that answers everything.
Oh yeah, he country is all good. He the guy. He the guy that if you say, hey man, we're gonna have fish tonight, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go catch it out back.
Yeah,
And
he
then I'll
went.
be
He
back.
he would go quail hunting.
Right.
Down at they had a reserve down there.
Yep.
And he would go. He even in his off season, so he'd go.
Oh,
down, him and Carl Mecklenburg from the
Yeah.
Broncos, who still had his house down there in Mecklenburg County. They go quail hunting. Him and Frank Garcia from the day, and they tried to get Eric Davis, cornerback from 49ers, to go. And Eric Davis said, "Listen, man, I love y'all, but y'all not taking me to the woods at 4 o'clock in the morning in the dark with guns. Like this, miss me. Tell me about it when you get home."
I want to hear the story. You know the best thing about Sam Gash is he knew I was from Minnesota and I like to fish. And then one of my other, I guess, rookie mates, Sean Bryson, is from Franklin, North Carolina. So that's where Big Cuz got, he'd always call everybody Cuz. So and Sam was a big dude. So them two dudes, me and Sean were best friends, and they played they were running backs together. So them two country dudes. Then you got, and I'm not country by no means, but I love to fish. And then they had another fullback that came from Tennessee, and he's super country, and he's from Carolina somewhere. He's actually from Gastonia.
Gas hole, North Carolina.
The gas house. So we wanted to go fish. So Sam Gash had met this guy that had a cabin, like upstate New York. So he's like, "You want to go fishing?" I'm like, "Yeah." You ever went fly fishing? So I never done that before, and I never been in the river with no waders. So he took us the night before. We all got waders, and Sam had like the hookup. We played minimal for it. He came picked us up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he had a big old like dually or whatever. Like it was just drove us up there, and we caught like I think it's some salmon or whatever. It smoked it up for us. Dude brought it down. It was one of the best days we ever had. And let me tell you something. I couldn't fly fish for tiddly poo. Okay, because I'm used to like doing it, right? I started to catch it at the end. And Sean, we were just crossing our lines. Sean got one. I'm mad, you know what I'm saying? Because that was supposed to be my fish. And Sam made sure we stayed there until I caught me one. Now, it was the smallest one, and it was the dumbest one, right?
But you got one.
But I got one because I didn't want to go back to the locker room and be like, "Man, this dude from Minnesota cook." I finally got it. I mean, we was in that water all day.
Have you ice fish?
Yeah.
Okay, walk me through this.
Well,
because I see y'all.
No, you don't. No. See,
I have respect for y'all.
See, this is the difference.
Okay.
I've ice fished under great circumstances. So growing up, one of my friends got me to go out there, and I was like, "Look, bro, like out here in this little tent, it's cold. You got the little radio trying to." I was like, "I'm out. I'm done." Now the way I went is during the Super Bowl was up there. They brought there was an appearance out there, so they take you out there, and you got these ice houses, and they high tech. Look, you got a king bed, cable TV, got a microwave, and like a stove.
So you camping in a luxury liner,
right?
What you're
And then you got like little two twin beds, and then the way they do it now, because I guess the night before they had caught like a 22-pound fish or whatever. So what they do now is like you put your line in, and then you just got an alarm, and it's all computerized. You could see like the fish swimming down there. So I did that. That was cool. And this one dude now here's what he told me, and I didn't realize you could go into the lounge and shower.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, man, me and my son, we come out here. We come out here for 4 days." I'm sitting there. First thing I'm thinking, like, bro, you ain't showered for 4 days. Well, then he goes in there and you ride your snowmobile out there, and then you go back and that's where you eat and stuff. And they got nice showers and everything. But I was not in there.
So first of all, you're not fishing. You're fish receptionist.
Yeah.
Basically. Like
what it is
like,
they want to go out there and drink, watch TV, and it's like a little colony out there, man. It's like you got your own, like your house is number 14,
right.
Austin's 3 houses there. Hey man, come down. We drink it down at 18. Like, but
and you're watching on camera the radar of fish coming near your bait.
And then when you get a hit, it goes down. Then you just get up and it's high tech now, man.
You have fish.
You high tech, man. You high tech, man. But one thing that isn't high tech, I was gone yesterday, but I wanted to talk about this, DP, and with conference realignment in the future. I read somewhere where Trevor said the possibility of having the top 35 to 40 brands, and eventually I think that'll be in 5 to 10 years. But it's the coaches on the hot seat, right? Mm-hmm. And this is after dismissal of Pat Fitzgerald. It's Eli Drinkwitz. That definitely is going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to definitely be a trivia question, right? From Missouri, he's on the hot seat. Neil Brown from West Virginia. Let me see. That's the 2. And then Tom Allen, of course, from Indiana. He's been there 7 years. Jeff Haley from Boston College. And this is one that's interesting here, right? Dino Babers from Syracuse, which he's had some big victories. Took Notre Dame 2 years in a row to the 23rd hour. And then Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. A lot of these teams aren't a part of the realignment because you got to think Missouri's in the SEC. But you got Indiana, you got West Virginia, right? And then you got Syracuse because of Syracuse is huge. Now, number one, they're not necessarily a football school, but they've always put out football talent. Mm-hmm. But they potentially could be a part of the breaking up with the ACC with your coach on the hot seat. We obviously they've got a few Nebraska players there. Obviously with the transition. Which one of these coaches do you think is gone first? Tom Allen, Drinkwitz, Jeff Haley, Boston College, which is a little bit different because he's only been there for 3 years, and he had a really good pandemic year. He has NFL defensive coordinator, experience, or the Memphis coach Silverfield, which. Can't even believe you're even worried about him coaching there because Memphis is not a football team.
It's not a football school, but they're rather enjoying the perks of being prominent in college football at the high level.
Right.
Like they had a run, right? They had a run, and they're not used to being in that space. And to be in that space is kind of like Wake Forest. It's like, oh, wait a minute, we can
have nice things.
Like we can have nice things. We can make real money in the fall, and deal with that. And so I think I think it's Dr. Tom Allen because the basketball program, while it carries leverage and heat and flavor, you're paying pretty good money in the basketball program.
Yeah, you are.
Like you're playing even your reserves, your assistant coaches are making pretty good money. But around the Big Ten Conference, the rest of the coaches have cachet. They have swagger and sellability and when you think Big Ten, how many coaches do you think of before you get to Dr. Tom Allen? And that's a problem for Indiana. Like Indiana expects more. They deserve more. And I'm not saying he's a bad coach. And I'm not saying that he doesn't get it. But the reality is if you ask anybody in the Big Ten or outside the Big Ten to go through the Big Ten coaches of prominence, Tom Allen's in the bottom 4 all the time.
Right.
And that branding that Trev talked about and branding matters. Indiana is a brand. Even in football, it's still expected that they produce some talent and be relevant. You can't be can't be coach number 16, which is what he'll be next year once USC and UCLA happen. You got to make a move to try to go up the chart.
Yeah, and it's interesting. 19-20. They were kind of like the Cinderella team, but then backed it up. A ton of NFL talent. Quarterback leaves and goes to Washington. Now he's up for the Heisman. Going to be an NFL quarterback, Penix Jr. And it seems like they haven't recovered. They kind of had he had it. He could hang his hat on a high turnover defense, interceptions, turnovers. So you're constantly feeding your offense the ball. But I think now he's lost at the rate, and you kind of hit your peak, right? And I think sometimes when all these schools are kind of have something in common. All are average football schools. They've never been a powerhouse school. I think Boston College was at its peak when Tom Coughlin was there. That is many decades ago.
Yeah.
But in Syracuse, kind of, when they had McPherson and all that, was it McPherson and all that, they were legit, but they weren't powerhouses. So what happens is you get some success, get some notoriety, you pay a coach a lot, then you're all saying, well, we need that every year. Well, a lot of times with these coaches, while you guys were below average, and you got to think when these coaches took these jobs at the very beginning of their coaching tenure, they were worse off most likely than they are right now. Now you get success, you forget where you came from, you forget who you hired, and then your expectations go up. But guess what happens when the expectations go up? The support has to go up, right? And then your expectations needs to be a little bit realistic, and you have to really be okay with and look at the leadership before that Tom Allen's been able to establish. He has his own brand as his voice is always raspy, a lot of energy. But here's the biggest thing, the kicker for them. Even if he's fired after this year, so even if you fire him in week 8, even if you fire him January 1st next year, you still got to give that man $20 million buyout. That's a huge, and if I'm Tom Allen, I don't back off of that. Right?
This is how much of the hot seat is for him. They're already talking about, listen, how do you give him you need to find an administrative position for him, because you don't want him out of the program.
Right. Because he's a great salesman. He's a little bit, and he's from the area.
Yep.
And he loves Indiana football. And here's also when he had chances to upgrade, he stayed loyal. Most likely at the time for a pay cut, and then maybe not financial dollars, but more security long term. What I mean by that is him staying in Indiana. This is probably why his agent said the buyout needs to be so much, is going to hurt him in future employment, because there's not many Indiana
and at his age
that are going to hire a Tom Allen at or close to that pay rate. So that's where you have to be careful.
He will be right next to the athletic director in the boosters recruiting.
Right.
He will be around the program because you can spread that out, kind of think, what you've done with Bobby Bonilla. You can extend that. At least he gets his money. He can still be of value.
And you can have him as like a senior assistant or something like that, or something.
Yeah.
Did you just compare Tom Allen to Bobby Bonilla?
I did.
I might be that's a first. I'm impressed.
I did.
I love that.
Well. I mean, this is
just that type of contract.
But this is what happened. This is the business that's going on now. I mean, it was bandied about a year ago here in Lincoln. Like, what do you do? Like, you're going to have that same discussion with John Cook in a year, whether you like it or not. You had that discussion with Francis Allen, and this is how this works. Gary Pettit, like you've got to have those discussions of people that have value to the athletic program and to the university and to the community. You may need new blood in leadership, but you can't get rid of their leadership. And their leadership is vital. They still keep connections. They still keep relationships alive, and they're a tie to the past that is necessary.
Yeah, it's I mean, you see it all the time. Like, Bobby Bowden, even though he wasn't coaching, he was essentially the de facto coach. Yep. He's the guy that if you needed to close a recruit, and Bobby Bowden has won national championship and put 8,000 players in the league.
Barry Alvarez.
All of it. Barry Alvarez.
Yep.
Well, when you're recruiting, you walk in there and you're talking to whatever coach at the time at Florida State, where comes old Bobby Bowden. Now you close the deal. You got to have that because, if you're Indiana or a football program that needs to kind of stay relevant, you have to have somebody that has some cachet.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're going to get left behind, and you're going to be looking at them taillights, and you don't want to look at them taillights, because what happens when you get left behind in college football, you not only see the taillights, they burn rubber on you, Austin.
Yep.
Like in the country towns.
You're even they're leaving.
Yeah, and they drag race up there, and who knows, O'Neill, Nebraska, down 1st Street. and that's all you see is smoke.
Eat
That's
my
what-
dust.
Yeah, you be up there getting left behind, man. Jay Foreman, Austin, DP. I'm gonna when we come back, we're gonna talk about one player in that defensive back room before we send you guys off to think about. And I'm gonna give him some props for the simple fact that he still has his head above water. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
IT projects piling up again? Managing IT can definitely be frustrating. Whether you have an in-house IT department or you manage it yourself, let Hamilton be your experts. At Hamilton, we take the frustration out of your business tech issues with managed IT solutions. We specialize in co-managed and fully managed IT. Does your business need better managed IT? Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through August 15th are $2 off packaged grass-fed, grass-finished New York strip with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road. Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's specials through August 15th are $2 off packaged grass-fed, grass-finished New York strip with limit of 2 per visit. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP. We're about to send you off. We just seen, is that Big Head Jake over there?
It is indeed.
There he is. His name ain't Big Head Jake. You know, he's just Dolphin Jake. That's his name.
Officially.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What, obviously with Betts leaving and stuff like that, you want to give some props to Tommy Hill, man. You know, a guy that started out rough. Been talked about glowingly by the coaches and coaching staff. So hopefully he keeps his nose to the grind, man. Just because it's not a talent thing with him. It's just more like upstairs. So it seems like he's got it together, at least to be somewhat of a factor this year and give Tony White and the defensive coaches some flexibility. If you're running a 3-3-5, you have to have flexibility. That means, when you play Minnesota, you're going to have more run type of oriented coverages and defenses. But then also you got to have guys that are going to be able to come up and tackle. So then therefore you might not want to expose Malcolm Hartzog to, and have him be in a position where he can cover and stuff like that. You could bring in a bigger body in there, Tommy Hill, and not lose any coverage. It's an opportunity to be successful. I also want to give props to Javen Wright. Healthy, knock on wood, move to linebacker. If he keeps at it, he's got 2 more years, get in the weight room, get that athletic ability going. Rest to be history. Because when you long, fast, and got that body like that, that's not even close to matured, and he's grown since he's been here, you're going to give those guys props, man. As much as it's coming down the pipe, that positions are going to be settled. You like to see guys adapt to new environment and step up to the competition.
Yeah, and we think of the veterans at the linebacker position, but this is a young room.
The whole team is young.
It's a young
Look
room.
at these dudes, freshmen, sophomores. I mean, you got dudes like Gage Stinger, where, he came out of Miller South, is finding his way to defense. He was a one-man wrecking crew when I think they beat Bellevue West, put him on the map, was a Kansas State recruit. You got Phelan Sanford, I think one of the fastest dudes on the team, Deshaun Singleton. Of course, Omar Brown, waiting for Buford to get healthy.
Isaac Gifford is the name that keeps popping.
Right.
You get
Jamari
single
Butler.
digit.
They lost Maverick Noonan, but
We're not
Jamari
even
Butler.
talking about Jamari Butler.
Right. Who's starting. I think the more he plays, the more he kind of gets used to playing, the better. Gives you some position flexibility, too, playing behind the ball, off the ball.
If Hartzog is taking reps at safety, that tells you that they're making it tough to identify. Like, that's a critical thing in the 5 is to not know who your matchup is going to be, what the specialties are going to be, and then to take advantage of it. I like a lot of it, and it's going to be pretty interesting to just watch it play out.
Man.
There's some numbers.
Right, like Ramir too.
Yep.
Yeah. Just keep at it, man. So coming up on Wednesday, you got about 3 more days, man. You got to keep pushing, and you got to separate yourself. So that being said, we're going to separate you guys and on to Sam Hoiberg and company. After this, Jay Foreman, DP, we'll holler at you tomorrow.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
John Henry's Plumbing.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that, options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we